Alright, today we're going to learn how to multiply fractions. Now most of you have to be able to multiply a simple fraction, but multiplying fractions is different from adding or subtracting a fraction. When you add or subtract a fraction, you have to get a what?
Common denominator.
With multiplying a fraction, the denominator does not make any difference. Okay? Now also, when you add and subtract a fraction, the denominator stays the same once you get a common denominator, right? Well, when you're multiplying, you multiply the two things on top, multiply the two things on bottom, and you're done. Okay, so here we've got 1/5 times 2/3. 1 times 2 is? 2. Okay. 5 times 3 is? 15. And so 1/5 times 2/3 is 2/15. See, so multiplying to me is the easiest dealing with fractions. I think adding and subtracting takes more time, and I think dividing you have to leave, change, flip. With multiplying, all you got to do is multiply the top, multiply the bottom, you're done. Okay? So let's move to the next one. What about 3/4 times 2/5? Nevis, what do I do?
Multiply 3 times 2.
Which is?
6.
So you multiplied the top, and then what?
Multiply the bottom 4 times 5.
4 times 5 is? 20. Now, am I done?
No.
You have to what? Reduce. So what will go into both?
2.
So divide the top and bottom by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So now your answer is 3/10. And make sure you circle it in your homework. You have to circle it. Now obviously these things are going to get harder. Okay, now look, just because there's a variable that says solve the equation doesn't mean you do anything except for multiply these together. Okay, so Kareem, 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12, which reduces to what? 1/6. So that's your final answer. Here you've got 3 times 1, which is?
3.
And 5 times 2, which is?
10.
So what does G equal?
3.
So you have to write it like that when they give you variable. 3/10 equals G. Okay, what about this one? What is this?
A negative.
Negative. And this one is what?
A positive.
So a positive times a negative is?
A negative.
So C equals, we know the answer is going to be negative something. Correct?
3 over 20.
3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 4 is 20. So C equals negative 3 over 20. Now, where is this negative? Is it with the bottom, the top, or both?
Both.
It's at the top, man.
I mean, it's wrong.
Now, hold on, let me show you. If it were with both, a negative over a negative is what, Caroline? So if it were both, then it would be positive. So it can't be with both. It cannot be with both. Always put it where? On the top. So this is the same as negative 3 over 20. Both of these mean the same thing. Alright, so now we're multiplying negative 9 over 10 times negative 3. So some of you are saying, well, Coach, negative 3 isn't a fraction. Well, what do we know negative 3 is over? Right, when you just have a number, it's understood to be over 1. So now I've got negative 9 times negative 3, which is what? 27. And 10 times 1, which is?
10.
Now, will this reduce any? No, but I can make it a what? A mixed number. There's no such thing as a mixed fraction. Either it's a fraction, a whole number, or a mixed number. Okay? So to make this a mixed number, divide the bottom into the top. How many times does 10 go into 27? Leaving a remainder of what? 7. So it's going to be 2 and 7/10. 2 and 7/10. Now, to tell you the truth, and you can listen to this, if you give me this, I'll be happy. Okay? When you get to high school and college, this is called an improper fraction. They're going to be happy with that. Okay? But if you don't like it, then just write this. This is good too. Either of these I like. Okay? They both mean the same thing, really. They're both 10.7. Right? Okay? Now this one you've got negative 1 times 3, which is? Negative 3. And 2 times 4, which is? So what does D equal? What's D equal? Negative 3 over 8. So let me give you 2 more to try. I want you to try those 2. Now, Here we've got 5 times negative 12 over 15. Now, what's another way I can write this?
5 over 1.
5 over 1.
Negative 12.
Good. This and this mean the same thing. So 5 times negative 12 is negative 60 over 15. Now, no, this divides. How many times is 60 or 15 go to 60? So it's going to be negative 4 is the answer.
But you say you can leave right there.
But not when it divides evenly. When it divides evenly, you got to go ahead and divide it. So I want you to write A equals negative 4. That's what I want on the test. A equals negative 4. Now this next one, another way to rewrite this is negative 5 over 3 times 4 over 2. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20 over 6. Now, this one won't, 6 won't go into negative 20, but it'll reduce to negative 10 over 3. Now, if you stop there, I'm not going to take off. But if you want to make it a mixed number, you can make it 3 1/3, and it's negative.
That was negative on the 1.
Oh, what's the bottom?
I know, but I did it from 20 over 6.
Okay, so you got to reduce before you can do it. Remember, you always have to reduce before you can make it a mixed number.
Oh.
So either of these would have worked. Remember to always circle your answers, okay, so I can tell what your answer is. Alright, now this says, what's the product of these? What's product mean?
Multiply.
Yeah, this might as well just say, what's this multiplying? Okay. Now, 12 over 20 times 2/3. Now, I know you can just multiply this, but sometimes you're going to get fractions that are huge. What can you do to 12 over 20, Brittany? Reduce it. So it's going to be 6 over 10, which reduces to 2 over 5. So now you can do 2 over 5 times 2/3. So you see that multiplying this will give you the same answer as if you multiply this. This will give you the same answer as if you multiply this. All of them are going to give you the same answer. The only difference is what, Misha? You don't know, do you?
No, because I couldn't mistake him.
The only difference is, here I have reduced, here I haven't, and here I haven't. Does that make sense? So now 2 times 2 is 4, over 5 times 3 is 15, and so that's your answer, 4/15. Now if you did it with this, you would have got 24 over 60, which would have reduced to 4 over 15. So either way, didn't we get the same answer? Y'all try that. 18. Now 18 is the same as what? 18 over 1. And then you multiply that times negative 2 over 3. What's 18 times negative 2? Negative 36. So I want you to recognize that this times this is giving you that. And 1 times 3 gives you what?
3.
Now, negative 36 divided by 3 is what? Negative 12. And you could even say negative 12 over 1. Right? Which equals what? Negative 12. Are you following my steps as we go? Okay. Any questions?
So we have just left that
This-
negative 36 over there.
No, you got to reduce. You always have to reduce to the simplest form it'll go. Always. Now, this is the time for questions. Does anybody have a question? Now we've got here negative 11 over 20 times 4. This is the same as negative 11 over 20 times 4 over 1. Negative 11 times 4 equals what?
Negative 44 over
Negative 44. 20 times 1 equals?
20.
Now let's reduce it. The top divided by 2 is negative 22. The bottom divided by 2 is 10. Again, I can divide. The top by 2 equals negative 11. The bottom by 2 is 5. Now, if you stop there, that's just fine with me. Okay? But most of you are going to want to make that a mixed number. So you're going to divide 5 into 11, and it goes 2 times, leaving a remainder of 1.
If you put
Which
that over
means-
5.
Which means your answer is 2 1/5.
That's what I got.
2 1/5. And it has to be negative now, doesn't it? So this Or this will work, nothing else will. Yeah.
Coach, on maybe 44 over 20, can't you just do it easy and reduce it by 4?
Yeah, you could have divided the top and the bottom by 4. But anytime both are even, I like to just divide them by 2 because it seems simpler and faster.
Usually.
Could you just put 20 and 44 and it got 2?
You could have put 20 into 44 and still gotten 2 1/2.
2 and 1/5, not 2 and 1/2.
1/5, that's right. So what did we learn today?
Multiply fractions.
Today we learned how to multiply fractions. Okay? In a fraction, does the denominator matter?
No.
No. Okay, it's not like adding or subtracting. In a fraction, all that matters is multiplying the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom.